morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. This morning I am going to be making some seed-topped buttermilk scones. They sound very interesting. You know me, if I find a recipe and it catches me, I'm going to sit there and go for it. Alright, we need 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. Make sure you level them off. Do not pack them down in liquid or they will be heavy and then you'll be upset because you won't be happy with the way they're coming out. That's why I always tell you, do not pack it. Do not use a liquid measuring cup because you will have problems. All right, I'll let me measure this. I got a 1/2 cup of old-fashioned rolled oats. Okay, and to this we're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Let me go get another baking powder. My pantry needs to be restocked soon. Yeah, I remember when we didn't have lids like this. People didn't poison children and had to make things child-proof or anything else. Our parents taught us well. And that's why we got rid of camphorated oil, because somebody from another country didn't have cooking oil and they saw that that was some doctor went on the rampage and sat there and you cannot make it. And yet every American knew point blank camphorated oil was to put into the ears. You know, on a Q-tip to clean the ears. We lose a lot. And if you want to make it, you have to go to the ARE, become a member, and you can get the formula and you can make it. A 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. So American people are being punished for people who don't know. They come to this country, they don't understand the language or anything else, and they think they can just come here in the merry old way and then sue because they don't understand instructions. 1/4 salt. Which is ridiculous. I want to add some wheat germ to this. I'm just going to add a tablespoon. I'm not going to add any more. And I'm definitely going to add some powdered milk. Okay, that's about a tablespoon, a little more. Finish that jar up, and I'll reload my jars. Now we're going to talk about metabolisms and age. Children eat a lot of food because they're growing, they're repairing, so they need extra protein and stuff to work with. And as we get older, you'll notice that you don't get as hungry as much, but you do eat. And the older you get, the less food you eat because you're not growing, you're just stabilized. Now, when a woman is pregnant, she's got another body she has to feed, so she has to eat for 2. When she's nursing, she has to eat for 2. But as she gets into her 40s and stuff, she'll notice that she doesn't get hungry like she used to. Okay? And that's because you're not growing anymore. You're only doing repairs and just standard stuff. But when it comes to, if you continue eating the way you did as a teenager and you continue eating like you were nursing and pregnant, you will find, wait a minute, I need the butters here. You'll find out that you start putting weight on. Now I know when you have children, you go up a dress size. Okay, fine, I know I went up a dress size. And then you stabilize, but when you go into menopause, well, you're going to go up a dress size again. I hate to tell you that, you know, it's just going to happen. You can't stop it. And this is a stick of butter that's going in here as I talk. And if you continue eating like you were 20 and in the teens and all, as you go through life, you're going to see yourself getting bigger and bigger and bigger because you can't utilize all that food. We would have to, being older women, we would have to do it. Boy, the kind of work we would have to do to burn everything up to eat as a young person is ridiculous. It'd be like we were running all day long and not sitting down, then cleaning the house and chasing everybody around, carrying, lugging and stuff. We might burn up all the calories if we eat 3 meals like we did when we were 20 and 30s, or childbearing years, as they say. And so as you get older, the metabolism slows down. In other words, the food that you eat is going to take much longer to burn. So if you find yourself putting weight on, that's it, because the metabolism is slowing down as you get older. You don't have the need that you need when you were younger. But the thing is most people will cut back on their protein, but pick up on their carbs, carbohydrates, like desserts and stuff like that. And eating more bread than they should instead of the protein. They don't want to eat the salads and vegetables as much. You get older, you say, no, I've done all this, now I want to enjoy myself. Or if you go drinking, you don't think about the calories that are in the liquor that you're drinking. This is all going to put weight on you because your metabolism has slowed down. I mean, do I eat 3 meals a day? No, I don't anymore. I have a much smaller breakfast than I used to. Boy, when I was young, I ate a ton of food. If I told you what I ate for breakfast, you'd probably be shocked. I said, you ate all that? Yeah, I did. I was a big eater. But I burned a lot of the food up as well. So, as you get older, you have to weigh in your portion sizes and stuff. But if you don't get the protein, you'll end up with not being able to hold your bladder. You'll lose your strength as you get older. What you have to realize is you've got to cut back on certain foods because I knew I scraped my nail. So that's how, if you want to hold your figure and stuff, you got to be careful about all of that because you're overloading the system. And I talk about overloading. So I don't eat as much as I used to. But I still get up and I work. Let's say I can't clean the whole house in one day. It takes me a little longer. And I'm slower at it. I am 71, but I keep on going. But it takes me a long time before I get hungry again. And then when I'm hungry, get out of the way because I'm going to eat. So if you want to maintain your weight, because you know as you get heavier, you end up with more medical problems. And if you don't want to take medication, you've got to control. It's not that you have to go to the gym and stuff. It's just that you're not thinking about the kind of food you're eating and what's involved with the food that you're eating. I mean, I went from a Mrs. 8 up to the size that I am now. But it was through stages. I mean, it was stages through menopause, childbearing years and stuff. That happens. Those are normal things that happen. So if you want to know, you're probably eating like you used to when you were young, and this is a big mistake that people make. I know I put a little extra weight on this winter, so I know I'll have to work a little harder to get it off. But I know people say, it's what you eat. No, it's when you eat and this and that. You listen to young people. That's not going to help you because they're not at your age if you're an older person. And that's a mistake a lot of people make. I mean, my sons eat more than I do. I mean, they do. But I know when they get older, they won't be eating. Where did I put? They'll be eating less. Put your oven at 425. And you have to grease a cookie sheet for this. Okay, now what do you want me to do? Okay, you want the cheese. Now, if you have soft butter, you cut it in just and make it a crumbly. Like, oh, hold a minute. It'll look like this. Okay, we're going to put in a third of a cup of shredded cottage cheese. You need a third. Where's my third of a cup? Well, I have to thank my girlfriend. I'm always running out of measuring cups and having to wash them. You know what? I'm not going to use this. I'm going to go right back to this again. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Stir that in and coat that cheese so it'll be mingled throughout the flour. So when you make scones, they'll be throughout the scones as well. That's the trick of all of this. Well, I know spring is here. The sun is shining through my back door and back window. Just cleaning my mess up some so I can continue because I have to pat this out and stuff. All right, now that you've done all of this, you are going to sit there and put in 3/4 of a cup of buttermilk. And is the rest just measuring spoons I'm going to be using? Yeah. Okay, we can get rid of all these. We're going to mix this up thoroughly. I'm going to have to work it because my butter was frozen, so I'm going to have to do that. actually working this, pick up the rest of it in here, and then we're going to be measuring it out and getting it ready to cook. Let's see how nice it came out. Okay, get your cookie sheet that's been greased. You want a rectangle. Where did I put the, oh man. I forgot one little thing that I needed. I put it up, put it in my hand. They want a 10-inch by 6-inch, no bigger, no smaller. They're very explicit on this one. And they want it in a rectangle. They said you have to make it into a rectangle. I said, okay. See, if you hold your hand here on the side, let me show you. I have to turn you just a bit. If you put your hand here on the edges, you press, you can make it more into a rectangle. It'll look better. I don't think this is the size yet, but you know, we're working towards that size. It's only 9, they want 10, okay. We have another inch to go. So you just press it. Use your hand as the barrier to contain it. That's the only way you can do this, so you do get the sizes that you want. A lot of people don't think about that. That's how you do it. And you can make some pretty sharp edges doing it this way. Not that you're looking to make sharp edges, but you know. Okay, we got the 10. And we have the 6-inch, and this is what they want it to look like. Okay? Now let me see what they want us to do. I'm going to have to put this over here so I can follow on. All right, well, how do you want me to cut it? Okay. You're gonna need a serrated knife. That's a bread knife, you see it? How the blades are? That's a serrated knife. They want this cut into 12 equal pieces. Now, I know that if I cut it this way, the pieces are going to be thin. You're going to have to put some butter on your knife because it's the only way you can do it. I'm going to cut it horizontal Okay. Now, we've got 2 pieces. Now, in each piece we have to make it 6. So we're going to have to go down like 5 inches because it's 10 inches, so we'll go right down the middle here. Make sure you cut through. It's very important you cut through here. Now we're going to make 3, 3, 3, 3, and that'll give us 12 pieces. You see how I did that? I divided it in half, then I divided it in fourth, and for each fourth we're going to have a third. Like I told you, math is like was my favorite subject in school. As much as I use it, and you notice that I'm not separating the pieces, I'm just cutting them. That's exactly what they want you to do. They don't want you to part them. They literally want you to do it like this. Don't press too hard because you don't want to damage your cookie sheet or whatever baking dish that you're using. There, we got 12 pieces. I'll put that flour into my little jar, don't worry. Alright, now we're going to put the topping together. I need something small to do this. If you have a small bowl, by all means, I don't, so I'm going to have to do it this way. We need caraway seeds. How many caraway seeds? We need a teaspoon of caraway seeds. We're going to need a teaspoon of poppy seeds. They want white poppy seeds. I have never heard of white poppy seeds, so I'm going to use my black poppy seeds if you don't mind. Thank you very much, as they say. I had never heard of white poppy seeds. I'll probably Google it just to see if they do have it. And you are also going to add 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. I told you these are very interesting. This is where we get different cultures coming together. And we end up with this new cuisine. We're not at the point of saying that America has a cuisine, but we're working towards it. Now, you're going to mix these up. And you're going to spread them on them. See how it's looking? Now, we are going to bake these 20 minutes. Okay? And don't tell me these do not look good, because they do. So, let's get them in. Will be 53 for me, and I will see you then. Okay, they're done. And here they are. I'm working with my sauerkraut right now. That's why it's a bit crowded. Let me show you. Here they are. I'll let them cool a bit and then I'll take them off and let them cool. But anyway, that's it. So listen, have a lovely day. I'm going to take care of my sauerkraut now.